Hi second graders, and welcome to part 3 of our writing assignment called The Best Pet. So just to review, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to do a kind of writing that's called opinion writing. And in this kind of writing, we are trying to persuade or convince our readers to come around to our way of thinking. And so our topic is the best pet. You, first of all, got to choose which pet that you would like to write about. And your job is to convince the reader that that is the best pet. So you did some brainstorming ideas in part 1. And then in part 2, you took those reasons from your brainstorming chart and you put them into your rough draft. So I'm just going to review our rough draft very quickly. So we have in our rough draft, we have our topic sentence, and our topic sentence is really our big idea, whatever that best pet that you chose is. And then you have 3 reasons why you believe that. And each reason has a supporting detail. And then we end our persuasive paragraph or our opinion paragraph with a concluding sentence. And so the good news is that you have most of the hard work is done because you've already got your ideas in one place. The next step, you might think, oh great, I've done my rough draft and now I'm ready to do my final copy. Well, actually, that's not true. There is one very, very important step that we are going to do before we take that final step of writing the final copy. And that is something called turn and talk. And you might remember this from when we were doing our informational writing at the beginning of the year in second grade. And what we're doing here is, our brains are incredible organs, and our brain takes in information from all of our senses, from our eyes, our ears, our sense of touch, smell, etc. And what we've done here to help our brain write this paragraph is that we have written down all of our ideas. And so this information is going from our eyes up to our brain, and it's helping our brain form this paragraph. Well, there's another piece of that can also help our brains, and that is that our brains get information from our ears. And by doing this next step, which is talking out your paragraph, now our brain is getting information not just from our eyes looking at the words on the paper, but now it's going to get information from our ears, from hearing us say our paragraph out loud. And it's a very, very important step. Now in the classroom, I would say to you, turn and talk to your neighbor and talk out your paragraph. But today you are going to be my neighbor or my partner, and you're going to listen to me do a turn and talk. And for this, we're going to go back to our color coding. And as I say each thing out loud, I'm going to use my linker cubes. And I'm going to use these cubes to link the sentences together. So, and also when you do this, and when I do this now, I might make mistakes and I might say, oh no, that's not what I meant. I meant this, and that's perfectly fine. This does not have to be a perfect experience for you. And you'll see that I'll probably change my mind here and there as I speak out these sentences. But that's okay because it's a rough draft, right? This is not our final copy. This is just, again, practicing before we write that final paragraph. So here's how it might sound. And you're going to do the same thing with your rough draft. You're going to actually be taking a video tape just like I am. So it might sound something like this. Here's my paragraph. So, I think that a tortoise makes the best pet, and I'm going to convince you why. That's my topic sentence. To begin with, tortoises are very quiet animals. Now, I'm going to stop here because you'll notice I didn't just say, to begin with, quiet, because that wouldn't be a sentence. But this quiet is to help activate my brain again to remember, oh yeah, that was one of my reasons. And so I turned it into a complete sentence. So I'm going to continue. If you have a tortoise, your tortoise will not make any loud noises like barking or howling. So that was my supporting detail. Now I'm right here. In addition, tortoises are easy to take care of. And again, notice that I put this into a complete sentence. You won't have to take your tortoise out for a walk, and you definitely won't have to go around picking up the poop after your tortoise. Finally, tortoises are cheap animals to keep. If you have a garden, you could just leave your tortoise out there and he would eat the grass. You won't have to buy any expensive food. Now I'm on to my concluding sentence. So now you can see why a tortoise makes the best pet. So there you have it. That's what it would look like if you were to turn and talk and make a video recording. So as you can see, we linked all of these sentences together to make this paragraph. And the paragraph that you will be writing next time will have, well, let's see how many sentences it will have. It will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sentences. Now, some of you, if you like a challenge, you might even want to put in more than one supporting detail for each big idea. And if that were the case, you would add another red linker cube. I have some somewhere, but I don't have them right on me. You could definitely add more supporting details if you wish. So, I hear you say, but Mrs. Paley, I don't have linker cubes at my house. Well, students, this is one of those situations where you might have to tell your parents that Mrs. Paley said, I must have a bag of Skittles to help me with my writing. Because what you can do is you can do the same thing. Oh, and now they all fell out of the way. But you could do the same thing with Skittles. Look at that. So we have our topic sentence. Oops, maybe I can get both of these in the same frame. So we have our topic sentence up here. We have our first big idea and supporting detail. We have our second big idea or reason and supporting detail. We have our third big reason and supporting detail. And then finally, we have our conclusion. And then, of course, it's up to your parents to decide whether or not you get to eat your sentences when you're done. So, second graders, I can't wait to hear your turn and talk. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, and you can make mistakes and start and restart if you want to. That's okay. This is all about giving your brain a chance to really experience looking at the words and hearing the words before you take that last final step. So happy writing and talk to you soon.